Forgive me if my account seems disorganized. I'm trying to reconstruct the events of that terrifying night, but even now, as I attempt to write about it, my mind is in utter chaos. It all started when I decided to go on a hiking trip to the remote mountains to escape the noise of the city. My friend Jake agreed to join me, and together we set out on our journey. The weather seemed favorable, and we eagerly anticipated the adventures that lay ahead. We chose the most remote trail, leading to the summit of the mountain, where, as they say, a magnificent view of the surrounding landscapes awaited. The path was challenging, but we pressed on with determination and inspiration. When we reached the highest peak and set up camp, the sky was clear and the sun shone brightly, and nothing could overshadow our adventure. But everything began to change that evening when the sun slowly started to eclipse. At first, we didn't pay much attention to it. We even rejoiced in the spectacle, observing as the shadows slowly covered the earth. But as the eclipse became more pronounced, something strange began to happen in our camp. The sounds of nature became unnaturally muted, as if they were being drowned out by something invisible and ominous. The air became filled with tension that could be felt in every fiber of our beings. I looked at Jake, and I could see the worry on his face. And then it happened, something I never expected. When the sun was completely eclipsed, a strange darkness descended upon the earth. But it wasn't just any darkness, it was a darkness that seemed to feed on the light and life around us. We heard sounds that were indescribable. It was like moans and cries coming from the depths of our planet. I felt like our world was on the brink of destruction, that we were in the center of something terrifying and incomprehensible. And then, just when it seemed like the eclipse would never end, it suddenly stopped. The sun began to shine again, and the darkness that enveloped us melted away, as if it had never been. We sat there, exhausted and frightened, unable to comprehend what had just happened. But now, as I recall that terrible evening, I understand that it wasn't just a natural phenomenon. There was something unknown, something sinister about that eclipse, something we cannot understand or explain. I feel like it's only the beginning of something even more terrifying, and that the eclipse was just a harbinger of what lies ahead. When the solar eclipse ended, we were left in confusion and fear. Looking around, we realized that something had changed in our world. The forest surrounding our camp seemed now darker and more menacing, as if secrets hidden in its shadows were revealed to us. We decided to leave this place as quickly as possible. Gathering our belongings, we descended from the mountain, aiming to return to civilization. But our journey back was far from easy. As we descended the trail, we noticed that the nature around us seemed to come alive. Trees rustled as if they were alive, their leaves whispering strange warnings to us. The air was filled with the scent of something rotten and ominous. Several times, we heard strange sounds from the depths of the forest. These were sounds that couldn't be attributed to any animal, and they made our hearts skip with terror. When we finally emerged from the forest onto the clearing, we found that the world beyond the woods had changed as well. The city we had seen from afar now appeared less welcoming and more ominous, as if dangers lurked in its streets that we hadn't even imagined. We hurried into the city center, hoping to find answers to our questions. But there, we were met with a new horrifying discovery. The streets were empty, the buildings looked abandoned and dilapidated. The life we were so accustomed to seeing in the city seemed to have vanished, leaving only ghosts of the past behind. And in that moment, I realized that our journey was only beginning. The eclipse had awakened something ancient and sinister, something that was now hunting us, and we had to find a way to defeat it before it consumed us completely. With trepidation in our hearts and determination in our souls, we set out in search of answers, ready to confront whatever it takes to restore peace and tranquility to our planet.